Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Watching Wolfpack. I almost said Teen Wolf. Wolfpack, Season 1, Episode 1.
From a Spark to a Flame.
Okay, so we watched the first episode. Good?
Yeah.
There was a couple things, writing-wise, that I was a little like,
It's very piloty.
Yeah. I just have a overall note that I think I'm like good on the animals being in danger that's happening in media. It's like, and there was a lot of it. We talked a lot about how scared and in pain all the animals were.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone was worried enough about my boy Diesel.
Yeah. Fair.
I think that was such a deliberate plot point that something's coming there.
He must come back at some point.
Hoping that he's a were-dog. He was amazing.
Imagine. If you want to watch us do a full-length reaction, it is over on our Patreon under the $3 tier. So go do that if you're interested.
The general plot is that we have a school bus full of kids, and there is a wildfire that is fastly approaching. And they abandon ship, and in the chaos, there's like a stampede, and there's a giant ram.
Terrified animals.
And in pain.
Some of them are on literal fire.
And in pain.
Yeah.
There's a giant ram. They called it something else. Like a something goat or mountain goat.
Yeah.
And it was very noble.
Yeah.
In its.
It was very like a white heart.
It was
type
like
situation. Yeah.
Kind of modeling for him while it was.
It was prancing very much like Maximus from Tangled.
And something bit what appears to be two of our main characters.
Everett and Blake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everett has anxiety, and Blake has acne scars. Going with what they gave us.
I have a couple notes.
I had a few. I was sort of like, I don't love that, but
I just like there's also like the autistic brother. I'm curious if they're going to do something more with that.
They have to.
One would hope.
It was very avant-garde.
So deliberate. And like I don't know. I feel like if we're going somewhere with it, then yes.
Mm-hmm.
But it felt weird. And man, the parents.
I mean, they weren't great. It was kind of,
but like, okay, so
we only got 3.
True.
I guess 4 technically, considering
Rodrigo Santoro. Here's the thing too. I am going to do my utmost not to be making constant comparisons to Teen Wolf because I know they're not the same universe, all of this stuff, whatever. But like, it was like immediately out of the gate. Sheriff Stilinski and Melissa McCall were like god tier TV parents, and
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, remember it took Melissa a minute to she had her cute,
she was a good parent.
Okay.
I'm not talking about like how long it took her to like come to terms with Scott being a werewolf. I'm just saying she was a good
withdrawn
parent. And so is Sheriff Stilinski.
With the keys to the car, and we need to have the talk. Okay.
And so all of that. And so that's the thing is I'm just sort of like Garrett seems like he's going to be a good father.
Well, I think they're going a found family route with this.
Okay.
In which case, good riddance.
Absolutely, yes. I
think our Everett's parents could end up being fun.
Sure. They could end up being fun.
Kendra she could be a shoo-in for queen for me. But so no, they were bitten by something big, and some of their classmates died. The bus driver, who was doing her job, in my opinion.
Pour one out for Renata.
Died. Yeah.
Gruesomely too. Her face was to shreds.
Someone's face got stepped on. It was a lot.
Grotesque.
And then they ran, and Everett went to the hospital.
Yeah.
And Blake went home where her good-for-nothing dad was packing them up. And they ended up at a motel. I don't know. I didn't love him.
No. She's also at an 11 with a lot of things. She's also doing like
I wouldn't say 11. I'd say like an 8. On a scale of 1 to 10.
She's like, I don't have a phone. You wouldn't understand. And it's just like...
Well, she made, like... they made such a stink about it.
Yeah.
Because she was like, I don't have a phone. And I was like, okay. But then they kept insisting that was a problem. And then I'm like, well, now I want to know. Like, I didn't care.
Yeah, but then she like doubled down. She was like, I don't have a phone or a computer or an email address or anything. And I'm like, how are you existing?
You wouldn't understand. And I'm like, I might not. I'm gonna need you to explain.
I don't understand. Definitely not. So she was like going back and forth with her dad. I think it earned the TVMA.
Yeah, I like the TVMA.
Yeah. But it was like
gorgeous.
It does look good.
Oh my god, everything was even just like their eyes. Yeah. It was like really deep.
And the effect of the big monstery.
The big werewolf looks good. Wow.
Was pretty good. Yeah.
But yeah, they went to the motel and then she went to go try out her powers. Everett was in the hospital. It's the typical werewolf, like they're healing faster.
Oh, but there's something under their skin that only they can see.
That they're like glowing, but other people can't.
Well, it's like glowing and then like spidery black veins.
And then Everett got a creepy phone call where someone was like, "You have to get out of there because the werewolf is coming to finish the job."
Well, he's gonna find you
mostly.
Yeah, before the full moon, which we also established is 2 days from now.
But I didn't fully comprehend that because I was like, so they established that he can come out during the day and he bit them during the day.
But he moves around less during the day.
Yeah. And apparently he's trying to eat them. What, in like shifts? Like he didn't get it all that was his first attempt at eating them.
That was the amuse-bouche.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? I was kind of like, I don't understand what this system is.
Need a little taste first.
And are we presuming that that's what the scary thing was, watching Blake in the woods that her brother saw, the two eyes?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, there could be...
Because they stood up.
Yeah, but there could be others.
Well, there could be more than one, for sure, but that was one of them.
I don't know, it was the middle of the day, and again... We established that it can go out in the day. Yeah. It was giving me Sirius Black, where I was like, this feels misdirecty.
Sure. I'll give you that. It could be. There's also, that goes back to her and her brother, too, though, because if I know one thing about autistic people, just shouting at them to make a full sentence definitely works. It felt so weird.
Well, production was so confident in it that I was questioning my understanding. I was like, are they just not trying hard enough?
I don't think that's how
you just grab them and shake them until they start speaking and pull them.
Yeah, it's just like I said, it's very piloty because it felt very exposition heavy because, Blake and her father were talking. She's like, you and mom were fighting for 6 hours and then you were drunk and then you were hungover and we were gone all day and you didn't even notice. And I was like,
that.
Okay.
That didn't feel piloty to me.
Felt so piloty to me.
Because that just struck me as she was reading him for Phil.
Well, sure, that's fine.
It felt very truth and nothing but the truth, but
I felt the same way with the Luna and Harlan stuff, where she was like, Dad never leaves for this long, and we don't when he doesn't respond to our texts this many times, and it just felt very I
don't know. Usually,
ever since we were the age of 6.
Oh, absolutely. I usually am sensitive to that stuff. But I just needed that information this time, so I was just sort of like, okay. So anyways, Everett and Blake are, sort of on the same page, kind of. She's really fighting it. He's, totally kind of...
Well, he's very ha, I'm a werewolf, look at my abs! And she's like, fuck you!
Well, he also had the vision of the ram, where there was just chilling.
Something.
And then the werewolf presumably was coming out of its gaping... wounds.
Like a tauntaun.
Well, because the ram was scared and in pain.
Terrified.
They said it 5 times. Blake also, we mentioned it, but Blake befriended Diesel, which is the neighbor's dog.
Only after she was bitten, though, because he was barking before.
And he came to their rescue when they were attacked by the werewolf. And Blake and Everett did not take note of it, nor did they seem even remotely grateful for
or worried about
for Diesel's sacrifice. And so then there are twins, as you mentioned. It's Luna and Harlan.
Not an equal naming scheme.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I am liking them. They seem, let's just say they would be from District 3. or District 2.
She is. It's funny that you made a Hunger Games joke because she is doing her best Jennifer Lawrence. She's very cute. Chloe Rose Robertson, and then his name is Tyler Lawrence Gray.
They both were swishy in their own.
Yeah, and then our Everett is Armani Jackson, and Blake is Bella Shepherd. I think all the kids, all four of them, I think they're doing a good job. I'm like,
the twins are 18. They made a deliberate stamp on that,
which is good because he was potentially about to have pretty indiscriminate sex with a DJ at an episode 1 rave, which I was pretty pumped about.
And they were adopted by Garrett, who is Rodrigo Santoro, where he found them under the Nemeton when they were puppies.
Tiny puppies.
Because when they said something about, like, when he found us 18 years ago, and I was like, that's going to be weird. Is he just going to find babies in the woods? And I knew what show I was watching, and yet I was caught unaware.
Tiny little baby wolves.
It was so cute.
Very precious.
I want to know what Garrett is doing, because he seemingly, I said this when we were watching it, I don't think you followed my logic, because I was like, he seemingly ran into the fire. Because the first shot was him driving up to it. And now he's sort of just, like, parkouring about in the fiery woods, leaving, like, messages for them about if he dies.
Yeah. There's just, like, a lot of stuff, like, Luna will find her pack, and, like, he's sorry to Harlan that, like, they never, like, connected in the right way and everything, but, like...
They're also very certain that their birth father
is the monster.
Werewolf that is wreaking havoc now.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'll allow it. That feels like yes, but the fact that they were like, well, it must be this was very kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a little, like, we'll see.
Teen Wolf played it that way sometimes too.
Yeah.
So.
There also are, like, 2 more boys that were on the bus that seem to have also survived because he saw them in the hospital.
I'm also interested in Phoebe. She seems fun.
Phoebe? Who's
yeah.
Phoebe?
The one who Blake tried to borrow her phone and Blake's like, or she was like, oh, now we're friends again?
Yeah.
And Blake was just sort of like, I just need to borrow your phone.
Just, come on.
But, oh, and then enter Sarah Michelle Gellar's Kristen Ramsey. She's
even spelling it right.
She's an arson specialist who
with
is
the LAFD.
Yeah, who is on top of this.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I think she might have some
inside information. Okay.
Yeah.
She is adamant that this is an arson case and that a teenager set this fire, and that it's one of the teenagers that was sitting next to one of the kids on the bus who survived. She was very sort of
well, she just was trying to tell. She was like, it's probably someone that you know. You could have been sitting right next to him. It was Greenberg. Greenberg transferred schools to Los Angeles.
No, it was fun. I'm intrigued. It looked great. It was a good mix of silly and scary and fun. Yeah. I would like to turn the dial down a little bit on the animal endangerment.
Sure.
Or like I said, bring Diesel into, or just make them like confident and and ticklish, you know?
Sure.
But, no, bring Diesel into the fold. I want him to be a monster.
I would also, I like,
it's in the budget.
I'd love for the wildfire not to be ongoing. Like, at some point, I would like it to be taken care of. Because if it's just like a nonstop natural disaster for an entire season of television, it's going to be a lot. Everybody displaced, and Blake's house is already mostly burned down. So, I'm not sure. We'll see.
So, I think that's about it.
Yeah, pretty good. Good for a first entry. I'm really excited to keep watching, so.
It certainly has my interest and my intrigue.
Yeah.
And even the things that weren't exactly what I thought they would or should be, I still am interested in what they are.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
going to be. So, all right, let us know what you think, and hopefully you're enjoying the show and this, and be back next week to watch the next one and then listen to us talk about it.
Bye.
And check out the Patreon. Woo-hoo!
Yes.
And thumbs up.